The first day of December, I started a challenge called the Winter Arc. And during the Winter Arc, I tried to every single day journal about my feelings, journal about the lessons I learned in that particular day. And of course, I was not perfect in that. And as you can see, it's not 90s like cards, 90 entries of journal. Yeah, but it's kind of nice because for a really long time I was not journaling, and with that practice, with every single day doing some kind of a journal about my day, about the lessons I learned, I think and I feel like my trajectory in life just skyrocket. So let's just jump into these journal entries, and I will. It will be a chaotic video because I have not scripted anything or planned anything, and I have an allergy. Like there's toilet paper right there because my nose is blocked. So yeah, let's just basically go. First thing is the third December, and in or at 3rd December's entry is about my mental breakdown. Like, basically, I started to question my entire path in life, everything I do. Because for a couple of months, I was not seeing any progress, anything. I felt like everyone around me is perfect, everyone around me learns, everyone around me makes money, and here I am just sitting in my room like I have not achieved anything. I even regress. So yeah, that's the whole page is just me telling to myself that yeah, I feel like shit. And I wrote that entry because some part of me that believed that I will make it through. And that's a funny thing because right now I feel like I made so much progress. And just me reading that on stick to my wall, it's so motivating. It's literally, if you go to some kind of a coach, you have his testimonials, and this thing is my own testimonial that yeah, the things that I do, they actually work. So yeah, and there's a quote I wrote to myself: "To today be the Ivan who I will be proud tomorrow." Yeah, it's something like that. It's I suck at translating Polish to English because all that notes are in Polish because I'm from Poland. But yeah, it really stuck to me, stick to me, that quote. To today be the person that tomorrow I will be grateful, tomorrow I will be proud of. Another page is more private, so I won't give you the exact situation, but basically I had an argue with one of my friends, with one of my friends from my group, and I felt like I treated him like shit. So the entire entry from that day is only about me trying to solve that problem. Should I be this ultra masculine coach, like, leader of my tribe, or should I be just a friend? Somewhat empathetic, somewhat even feminine, in that sense that I just snuggle him and make him feel good and all of that. Because that's something that I still struggle with. That's something that I still work on because I don't know the answer. I don't know if I should be that, ultra masculine coach who says to you exactly what you have to hear, or if I should be that, feminine guy who just makes you feel good, so that probably you won't feel like shit. So yeah, I still work on that. The eighth, 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 the 8th December. It was a breaking point because that was the first day in my entire winter arc where I actually understood what the progress is. So what I wrote is that success comes only from what you have put into that. Success only comes from the amount of work you put on some project. So for a couple of months I was trying to make my thumbnails on my YouTube channel better. And guess what? They sucked. They probably still suck, but that day on December 8th, I felt somewhat motivated to just, okay, maybe I should learn about this. How can I improve my level of making thumbnails? So I started asking myself this question. Okay, when I used to learn programming and I sucked at something, what have I done? I started doing research, and I use that exact pattern to make better thumbnails. So after a couple of hours, like literally, I made a research which was like 3 hours me sitting right here on my laptop for 3 hours straight and just doing research on how to make better thumbnails. Then I was working 2 hours to make a thumbnail, which of course didn't blow up on my channel. But that thumbnail, in terms of its quality, I think that it was one of the best thumbnails I ever made. And I was proud of that. So it made me think about my life a little bit differently, because I used to think that success is only the results that I get from something. Now, success for me is more about the evolution, the change, the action. It's not about making the perfect thumbnail. It's about learning how to make a better thumbnail. So when I changed that mindset to not strive to make something perfect, but rather to constantly improve, I started feeling better about my work, about everything I do. Because I knew that no matter what I do, I still do progress if I'm aware of... if I'm aware. If basically I'm aware what I do right now. There's a 10th December, I saw that my relationship with my friends are a little bit drier than they were before my winter arc. Because basically I used to just sit in my room, locked in my house, and work for most of my day. Which is of course nice, like monk mode, whatever, but if you have friends that you really want to build a connection with, build a relationship with, it's hard, it's tough. So here, that's the funny thing. Started just writing myself questions, deep questions, and one of the questions are like, what is your worst mistake in life that you've ever made? What do you fear the most? What is the hardest thing for you right now? What is your current goal in life? What is the hardest thing that you've overcome? And I started talking with my friends, asking them these deep questions. And it was kind of life-changing to just see and just talk with them about not just sitting there joking around about some shit, but really talking about something deeper. That was fulfilling. Okay, let's go next. What was the next? And I have the quote from the Bible, and it was something like, it's from the Acts, and I'm not sure if I should, but I will translate it from Polish to English because it's written in Polish. But you should check this quote in your Bible, in your translation. It will be just to make sure that I'm not some heretic. It's my translation, okay? So he traveled through Syria and Sicilia, strengthening the churches. The churches. I'm not sure. I suck at English. But what? And there's a little question right there. Who I strengthen? Because the whole nickname, Ivan the Apostle, from my main channel, it's not the random like quote or whatever. I feel like the apostle. So if I want to live like the apostles, I have to read, for example, the book of Acts. And the Saint Paul, he was strengthening churches. So I ask myself, who do I strengthen? And that question helped me to help my brothers. Because my brothers also, they had similar problems to me. They saw no results, no progress. They felt kind of shitty. Even people who even people who are not my friends, but we just talked, we are in school. We just talk. I could help them. I could strengthen them. So yeah, that was the it's what I would really suggest you to do is just make a wall with notes. It's every single day I wake up, I have an opportunity to just sit and read my own knowledge, my own thoughts. And that's beautiful to see how you progress over time, how you change over time, how you change your beliefs and your viewpoints. 17th December, it was it was when the problems started to arise. And what I wrote was that the last days was only chaos. No plan, no smaller progress, nothing happens. Nothing really happens. So, because, and that was like, I wrote to myself that, Hugh, I had no plan and I had no focus. There's another note which is it's hidden behind another note, but it basically spells laser focus. And that was a reminder to me to really focus on what's important, to really focus on what I do right now. So for example, when I record that video, I'm not right right there on my laptop. I don't even have my Messenger tab opened. So I don't allow myself to not be focused while I record this video. But I remember times when I used to sit and write scripts for new YouTube videos with the Messenger tab open, with podcast, listening to podcast. It was too much distractions. So what I've done to really strengthen my focus, I started meditating, and not only that, I watched. There's a 1 hour video about from Charlie Morgan. A he's a popular entrepreneur, and he recorded a video about how to something like how to focus for 12 hours like a millionaire. So I listened to that video. It was kind of a podcast, and I today I changed my entire. If you will go to my PC, like not PC but laptop, I don't have here anything. Only Brave, which is my browser, internet browser, and only my recycle bin, which I don't know if I can even delete on Windows. But I try to minimize my distractions as much as I only can, even in my own digital space. So right here in my workspace, there's a rose which tomorrow I will give to my girl. And these are things which I currently use. So there was a tea. I have an allergy, so paper toilet, because I don't have anything to just clean my nose. And the honey to for my tea, and my mobile phone, which it shouldn't even be there, but I started just to record this video. It does not distract me when it's turned off, and I don't even have any notifications turned on. So yeah. So without plan and without focus, I was wasting most of my days. And during this, I have to be honest with you, during these 90 days of my winter arc, I was working for maybe 50% of that. Which is crazy. I could really do more if first of all I would had plan. And the second of all, I would focus more. So if I can really give you any valuable thing, any valuable lesson from this video, is to learn how to focus and plan, really plan. So yeah. 29th December. And of course I was writing again about the absence of plan and focus, because I struggled with that. But I also, my whole winter arc, if you would go to my main channel, I wanted to record a series about the whole mental health course, something like that. And I kind of stopped recording videos about that because I saw that it has not interest at all. Maybe if you are interested in that series, and you want me to finish that series, write comments. But the whole winter arc this year, I wanted to spend it to learn as much as I only can about mental health. and about traumas, about even what's wrong. My printer is whatever. Yeah, that was the distraction. I should turn off my printer. Yeah, so I was really working on my mental health, mindfulness, on my physical health. Shut up. And yeah, that 3 months I read a lot of books. Right here on the 10th December, I wrote to myself that I I've already read 4 books. 10 days into that challenge, and I already completed 4 books. Most of people my age read, I don't know, 1 book a month. During this winter arc, I read probably more than in my previous year. Like, at all. If I would combine every single book, if I will count every single book I've read my previous year, it would be not as much as I read during this winter arc. And it was because I made myself a promise, I made myself a goal to learn as much as I only can about mental health. So it was not only books, but I also like listened to thousands of hours. Okay, maybe not thousand, but I listened to a couple of episodes of Andrew Huberman's Labs podcast. I read a lot of articles about that. And it was all to just fulfill that goal, to learn as much as I only can about that. And right now, when someone from my close circle, that's the beautiful thing. When someone from my close circle have problems, or even when I have problems, I know what to do because I learned what to do in such situation. When I feel like shit, I already know how to do what I can do about that. If I feel anger, I already know what can I do to reduce that feeling, to transform it into something more positive. So yeah, and that was the day when I saw that my arm is small. No, but that was the day that I saw that I have a lot of unprocessed traumas and memories which still haunt me to this day. And with that day, I started working on them. So basically, I just started talk with my friends, with my girl. I opened myself in even to my fighting coach, to some friends that I have not even considered friends, but now they kind of are my friends. And it was a wholesome experience, really. I thought that everyone was gonna like make laugh of me because I had such memories, I had such problems and then traumas and then feelings, but now I feel that I'm not special. These people also had the same problems as I did, which means that I am relatable to them. So yeah, have we finished the December whole thing? Because I want to finish that video, it's like 25 minutes long. Okay, here's here's the January. So let's just go to January, because I have to be honest with you. I don't have any note from February yet. because I'm not perfect. Yeah, I also struggle. Like, the ideal would be to make the whole wall out of notes, but as you can see, it's like barely, it's just part of my wall. And I wanted to really make a lot of notes, but it was hard to really journal every single day, and yeah, it shows me why I should do that. Because it's tough, it's hard to sit every single day and ask yourself, okay, did you really work that hard to meet your goals? So let's start. I'm not sure, I don't remember what I have wrote here, and I'm like standing on on my shelf. So let me just quickly read that. Okay, yeah, okay. So I was the 5th January. I I listened to one of the newest Hamza's episodes. It was about consistency, and he was talking about what consistency even is. And I always thought like consistency is when I do something in a row. So for example, I have a streak. In Duolingo, you have streaks. You have this Duolingo streak. So you have your, which means it's basically the number of days in a row that you studied any language, like for example English, whatever. You know what I talk about. So I used to see consistency as a streak, and whenever I broke that streak, I felt terrible. But what if I told you that it's not true? What if I told you that learning English once a week is you being consistent? Because it's not about doing something in a streak. Every single time I broke my meditation score on Medito, I felt terrible because I felt like all my progress is gone and whatever. But the one thing that I always struggled to see is that 1 year ago I didn't meditate. And right now, even though I have like 3 days, 2 days, once in a while when I don't meditate, I meditate. And if I would really count the amount of meditation sessions per month right now, and 1 year later, not 1 year later, but 2 years later, it's better. And the same thing was with my videos. Like I saw that 1 year ago I was making one video per month, and right now I try to release at least a couple of videos every single week. And of course there are weeks when I struggle. There are weeks when I don't have time to sit and record videos, I don't have time to sit and script videos, I don't have time to do anything about my channel. But if I would be honest with myself, I feel more consistent than I was 1 year ago in terms of recording videos on YouTube. Because I do it more, because I do it, I still do it. I keep consistency by just doing it. Not by watching not by doing these Hobbit trackers, whatever, but just by doing it. So yeah. Do 7th January. Yeah, it's another thing about plan. Without plan, I just sit and scroll through Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Without plan and meditation, without writing these entries, these journal entries, without journaling, without reflecting about my life is a shit. I don't do anything productive. I don't do anything at all. So one of the most precious things that I've learned that winter arc is that this is what makes progress possible. Reflection and constantly doing something. The funny thing is that today I felt bored because I stopped listening to music while tidying up my room. I stopped I stopped like I log out of all of my platforms, social medias on my laptop, and I felt bored. That's why I grabbed the camera and I started recording. Of course, I had an idea to record that video, but I would never do that if I would not be bored. So the best productivity tactic that I can give you is to be bored. Being bored is a superpower. As a kids, we used to feel bored. Right now, with so much stimuli, with so much technology, with constantly doing something, with so much tasks, I can't even feel bored anymore. I remember a couple of days ago, I was on a trip with my friends, with my brothers, a trip to the mountains, and when we come back from that trip, we had to wait for our train at the train station. And listen to me, I had no earphones. I had no no console to play. I had only my mobile phone, which I didn't want to use because I didn't want to be seen from my brothers as someone who sits on his mobile phone and scrolls through Instagram or TikTok. Even if I would use my mobile phone, I'm not even sure. I don't even know what I would do. What I would do is just scroll mindlessly through Facebook for 3 hours. So that 3 hours, I only had my mobile phone, which I've pretty much not used. I had my ebook, which in which I've read a couple of pages, and I had my brothers, and we were all tired, so it was hard to really have any conversation, any deep conversation. And because of that, for the first time in a couple of months, I finally feel bored. When I was a kid, I felt bored like a couple of times in a day. It just blows my mind that nowadays kids don't even have this feeling of feeling bored. Do. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Another thing I learned was that whenever I used to do something that I should not do, which is like, I don't know, not interrupt by, but break my premarital purity, which is like pre-marriage purity with my girl. The hardest thing about that was that I was not living in that moment, in present moment, but rather that I was living in either in my past or either in my future. So when here we would escalate things and whatever, my mind would be already in the future. Already feeling that, okay, like we already do that, so whatever. But I will think about, but oh, in the future we will work on that. The same thing was with distractions. I used to think that, okay, I will work on my distractions, I will work on not using Messenger or Instagram when I work, and that future never arrived. The only thing that you have control over is right now, the present moment. The only thing that you can, the only time when you can take action is right now in the present moment. So, because this Satan gave me this advice, no, not advice, this lie, that, oh, you will work on that in the future. I lost so much progress, so much everything, just because I have not lived in a present moment. Which again, the meditation teaches you how to live in a present moment. That's why I personally think that meditation is something that will help with everything you have. Because meditation, really, it helps with everything. When you read about meditation, about the things that it improves, literally everything in the self-improvement improves when you start meditating. So yeah, we we just have only four entries, so let's just go into that. Oh yeah, here's my anger, my anger issues. So yeah, I felt a couple of times, I felt like really hard feelings. You know, it was anger, it was resentment, it was hate, and feelings are exactly like in Star Wars. In Star Wars, you had this whole theme of the dark side, which means that whenever you went too far with hate, with anger, it would consume you. And the same thing is with feelings. That's why I strongly believe that men should not listen to their feelings, because it's basically like using this dark side, which consumes you and makes you a worse person. So what I have wrote here is that, yeah, I felt a couple of times with my driver license and all of that. You probably know that if you watch my videos. And I felt like failure. And I wrote to myself that in The Way of the Superior Man, the book, there was a chapter, something like, stop hoping for anything in life to change. Just accept that suffering exists. Just accept that you will work every single day. That's the part of life. So I used to think that, oh yeah, in the future I will be happy, like living with my family, living with my girl on some Thailand islands. And because of that, I would not even appreciate the present moment. I would not even appreciate the moment right now. When I sit and record that video to you, I would only sit and be somewhere else with my daydreaming, without appreciating the beauty of life. So I started just accepting that, yes, suffering exists, I'm not happy right now, and that's okay. And I started to learn how I can transform my anger into something more positive. And I recorded a video about transforming anger. It is on this channel. It's something called How to Manage Anger, whatever. You can check it if you want. Oh, another thing, another thing that just popped out to myself right here. I'm not sure if you will see that. Oh, right here, I have wrote to myself that it's only like 39 days. You have only 30 43% to change, something like that. So every single day, with that every journal entry, I reminded myself that yes, the time is passing, that the end of that challenge is coming. And that kind of felt motivating, because when I used to see that every single day I have less days, and that number is like changing every single day, I kind of felt this scarcity that okay, I should do something, because if I want, I will like I will lose my winter arc. So that's another thing. If you journal every single day, the another lesson that I would really give you to consider is to make yourself feel that scarcity, that yeah, it's not going to last forever. 21st January, and it was that the first time when I actually started to see what God wanted to teach me during this winter arc. So I wrote that, yeah, God, that for most of my life, I had nothing that really broke me. With every single challenge, I just overcome it, and it was like easy, to the point when I used to believe that pain is not, it's not painful anymore for me. So the only thing, and God knew that I had a couple of problems with my anger, with my hate towards certain people, and He wanted to teach me some lesson. And He knew that the only way to teach me that is to take me through that valley of death. So yeah, and it was a massive ego check. Like my ego is not as huge as it was a couple of months ago, because yeah, I feel like shit every single day. I don't feel like the best person. I don't feel like the best man on the planet. And I'm not sure if that's good. I'm not sure, but because I felt that when I felt like the best, I felt that it was easier to work, it was easier to be confident. Right now, it's actually harder. So maybe yeah, that's a virtue to to just not feel like the best, but do things that the best would do. Whatever. Yeah, my friends just joke that in a couple of months I will become a monk. 29th January, and that was after my first winter camp with my scouts. And what I saw was that I helped my team leader a lot. You know, he was stressing about something, some, documents, whatever, with the camp plan, whatever. And I would be there in the kitchen making him something to eat. I will give him that, and I will make sure that yeah, he will eat that. I will be in the kitchen and make a tea or coffee for ourselves. I will clean up a little bit our room, just so he don't have to think about that, because I know that he stresses about it. And that was one of the first times in a couple of months when I felt that masculine, and I felt that good and positive towards anyone. I finally felt like I transformed from being an egoist to someone who actually loves people, which is very nice, because I call myself Ivan the Apostle, and for most of my life I was a total egoist. Sometimes I still am. But just seeing myself doing that progress, and I don't say that just to brag that, oh, I'm so good person, because I'm not. I still make mistakes, and my battery is dying. So the last thing. No, no, it was everything. Like, really, I. It's basically another thing with focus and all of that. So my challenge for you is to make yourself today, right now, set up yourself a date 90 days from today. And to that date, write yourself a goal. Okay, I'm gonna work on this business, or I'm gonna learn this language, and every single day just make this. Every, why my arm is so skinny? It's not skinny. Every single day, write yourself something like that. And what I'm gonna do, after my winter arc, I will start my spring arc. And that whole wall will be with my notes. Will be with my knowledge from these arcs. And I hope that after a couple of arcs, after a couple of videos like this, I will, right there, I will put my silver YouTube play button, or even golden, and I will thank myself that I did something, that I was working hard, especially when I didn't feel like it. So yeah, that was a long one, but if that video gave you any knowledge, any value, you can feel free to just comment. Do your best and leave the rest to God.